Welcome back, my students. In this video, we are going to learn style and CSS basics in React. So we have three types of stylings that we are going to learn in this video. The first one is regular CSS style sheet, and the second one is the inline styling, and the third is CSS module. Let's go back to our VS Code and create a component. So here, as we learned in the previous time, we don't have something new. We are going to create a JS file here in our component folder, and let us call this one as style sheet.js. Inside here, we are going to use a snippet rfce to create a functional component. Inside our return statement, I'm going to put a hashtag 1, and you can put anything. I'll write okay, this is regular CSS style sheet. You can style sheet. You can write anything you wish. Now we are going to create one external file here in our component again, and let us call this one my style. My style dot CSS. Okay. After creating this file, we have to import this my style sheet in our style sheet. Okay, so we'll come here at the top of our function. We're going to write import. Okay, the name of the file is my style. My style okay, dot CSS. After there, we'll come here to h1 tag, and we are going to add a class name here. Okay, so the class name, you can write anything from there, any name of your class that you wish. For me here, I can write title. That is the class I have selected. So after there, I will go to my style sheet here and create my CSS style that I need for that class. So I'll have to write dot, the name of the class is title, sorry, title. Then I need to have a font size, let's say 40 pixel. I need to have a font family. Okay, font family of this one here, and I need color texting to be, let's say, green. Okay, so this is just a property of my class title. Now we have not finished yet. We have to include we have to import our component to ReactJS so that it can be rendered in our browser. So here our component name is style sheet. Okay, this one here, and make sure you import it in top. So that import style sheet one, its component and its style sheet. Okay, now after there, let us go back to our browser and see if we have successfully. Let us refresh here. We can see here we have managed to create our first way of styling basics. Okay, so let us go back to our VS Code. Now, the second way of styling is inline styling. Okay, so in React, inline styling cannot specify as a string. Instead, they are specified within object whose key is a camel case version of the styling, and the value is usually a string. Okay, so let us create file here, and let us call this inline .js. Okay, let us use a snippet rfce. Okay, inside here, let us add h1 tag as we did in the previous, and let's say this is my inline inline style. Okay, you can write again anything you like. Okay, this is what I prefer. Now, for the inline here, we say that we have we say in React inline styling are not specified as string. Instead, they're specified within object. Okay, so I'm going to create my object outside of this function. So I'll have to write const this object. I can name any name because it's like a variable here. I'm trying to create it. So you can create any kind of variable that you like. Let's say I write this variable as inline. Okay, this will be equal to, now inside of this object, sorry, the inline I have used as a function here, so I cannot use it twice. Let's say let me write title here. Okay, something like this. Okay, so here it's where I can write my all properties that I need h1 to display with. Okay, so with this here, I'm going to write font. Okay, font size. Remember, we have been told that I have said this one here. We have to use camel cases when we create the properties of our title of our object. Okay, so and they should be string value. So here let's say it's 42 pixel. This is the font size. Okay, and I can say color. Yeah, it's red. Okay, and font family. Font family. Font family. Font family. Arial. Okay, that's it. Now we come here to our h1 tag. So we are going to say, because it's where then we needed to apply it to our h1 tag, so that when it's rendered in a browser, we see the effect. Okay, so here we are going to say style. Okay, style style equals to, okay. Now here I'll write title that way. Okay, now we have to import this component to our app.js here. So the component name is inline, and we need to import to the top. So import inline from component and okay. So let's go to our browser. Great, we have seen. So this is how we can create our inline styling. CSS module feature is available in ReactScript version 2 or higher. So you have to update if it is below. So let's get back to our VS Code. So first, we need to see if we have the version of ReactScript as version 2 and higher. If it's below, meaning that you have to update it so that you can use CSS module. So when we come here, we see I'm using a version 3, so I'm above version 2, so it works correctly. So you have to check from here. If it's below version 2, meaning that you have to update your app, okay, or you have to install this script again so that you can get the higher version. Okay, now let's see how we can use CSS module. Now we are going to create JS file here. I'll call it module.js, and I'll create another file here again, and this one here I'll call it style, okay, module.css. Okay, now let's go to our module.js. Let's use again a snippet rfce. Okay, and inside here I'll have again h1 tag, and I'll say this is module, this is CSS module style. Okay, style. Great. You can write any kind of name you wish. Now, in order to use this kind of module, we need to add, when you create its file, you have to first you're going to have a name, any name of your wish of that kind of your CSS you're creating for. It might be contact, it might any kind of names that you wish to write at first. But after that, you need to include this word module so that it can work. So those are things first you have to understand. Okay, first you have a normal names of your choice, but after that you have to write .module, then .css as always. Then you have to import it so that you can be able to use it within your component. Okay, so here we are going to write import. Okay, import. Now there's one thing we need, the second thing we need to understand here. In order to use a module CSS, okay, we have to create a variable here that we are going to use it inside of where we need it to style. So I'll write a name here, style, import style from, okay, then I'll write my module, that is style dot module dot css. Okay, now let us come here. Okay, now from here it's where we need to style. Okay, so the magic comes here. So we are going to write here because we are going to use as a class. We are going to say here class name will be equal to, but the class name here in module is done by taking, or first we have to use this variable we have declared here is what we are going to write here first. So I'll write style dot a name of a class that I'm going to use it to style this heading one. Okay, so here you can declare any kind of variable that you wish for your choice, which will be used inside of our class to display our style that we are going to create it inside of our style.module.css. So I'll write again here title. You can write any name of a class you wish. Okay, so we go here to style and we put it a class. That class name is title. Okay, what do we need? The style. What kind of style do we need in our class title? So I'll have to write font size. Okay, let's say I write larger. Okay, font family. Okay, so a font family. Sorry, let's take this one here, and it is color. Let's say color. Okay, color. What's the color? Let's say gray. Okay. Now after that, we have to check count check. Okay, that's correct. And the next step is we have to import our function in your app.js. Okay, so it's going to be rendered in our browser. So here we are going to say module, this one here. Okay, it has already imported itself. Now let's go to our browser and check what has happened. Oh, great. So we can see here. So this is all about stylings and basics in ReactJS. Let's get back to our VS Code. Now, there are things that you have to understand yourself here, that when we use a regular CSS, we have a file, this one here, okay, which we included it from here. But we didn't create any kind of variable here that we might use in our class title. But when it comes to a module.css, we have to create first a variable here that will take the properties of our styles from this module to what we need to style. So those are the differences that you have to take care of. Thank you for watching. Welcome to the next video.